Have you ever stopped to truly think about what life might look like when you reach your 80s? Beyond the serene images of rocking chairs and endless cups of tea, there's a certain quiet truth about growing older, especially as we approach and pass that significant 80-year mark. That isn't always spoken aloud. It's a period that brings profound wisdom and deep appreciation for life, but also presents its own unique set of challenges, and sometimes rather harsh realities that can catch us by surprise if we're not prepared. Many of us hope to simply glide through our later years. Yet understanding these deeper truths isn't about dwelling on the negative. It's about empowering ourselves. It's about gaining a clearer perspective on what might lie ahead, so we can face it with strength, grace, and an even greater sense of purpose. In this video, we'll gently explore 6 significant realities that often become more prominent in our lives after 80, not to scare you, but to help you navigate this precious chapter with eyes wide open and a heart full of understanding. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about living your best life. No matter your age, one of the first realities that often becomes undeniably clear as we age, particularly after reaching 80, is the increasing presence of physical limitations. It's not just about a few aches and pains. It's about a noticeable shift in what our bodies can do, a gradual decrease in stamina, strength, and mobility that can truly impact our daily independence. Things that were once simple, like climbing a flight of stairs, carrying groceries, or even just getting up from a comfortable armchair, can become significant efforts or even require assistance. This reality can feel incredibly frustrating, even heartbreaking, for those of us who have always prided ourselves on our vigor and ability to do things ourselves. We might look in the mirror and see a reflection that doesn't quite match the vibrant, capable person we still feel ourselves to be inside. It's a tough pill to swallow, this realization that our physical capabilities are diminishing, and it can lead to a quiet sense of loss, a longing for the strength of yesteryear. We might push ourselves, trying to prove that we're still just as capable, only to find ourselves exhausted or, worse, injured. This isn't about giving up. It's about acknowledging the body's natural changes. The truth is, our bodies have carried us through decades of life, through triumphs and trials, and it's natural for them to show wear and tear. Instead of fighting against this tide, understanding this reality allows us to adapt. It encourages us to find new ways to accomplish tasks, to embrace adaptive tools, or to accept help when it's offered. Not as a sign of weakness, but as a wise adjustment to our current abilities. We learn to appreciate the smaller movements, to celebrate every step, and to find joy in gentler activities. It might mean swapping long walks for shorter, more frequent strolls, or finding new hobbies that don't demand as much physical exertion but still bring immense satisfaction, like gardening in raised beds or exploring the world through books and documentaries. The key is to shift our focus from what we can no longer do to what we can still do, and to find fulfillment in those new possibilities, hand in hand with the physical changes. Another profound reality for those of us over 80 is the increasing frequency of loss. This isn't just about losing cherished possessions or opportunities. It's about the deeply personal and emotional loss of loved ones. As we age, our circle of friends and family, particularly those of our own generation, naturally begins to shrink. Spouses, siblings, lifelong friends, people who have been integral parts of our lives for decades, may pass away. Each loss leaves a unique void, a different shape of grief that can feel incredibly heavy. It's a constant reminder of our own mortality, and it can sometimes lead to profound loneliness. We might find ourselves at family gatherings, looking around and noticing how many familiar faces are no longer there, or reaching for the phone to call a friend only to remember they're gone. This accumulated grief can be isolating, making us feel like there's no one left who truly understands our history, our shared memories. It's a harsh reality because it chips away at our social fabric, at the very connections that have sustained us. But understanding this doesn't mean we should shy away from life or from forming new bonds. Instead, it highlights the immense value of every single connection we have. It encourages us to cherish the moments we share with those who are still with us, to reach out to younger generations, and perhaps even to forge new friendships in community centers, volunteer groups, or online forums. It also teaches us the power of memory, of holding our loved ones close in our hearts, and honoring their lives by continuing to live ours fully. Grief is a natural part of life, and acknowledging its presence in our later years allows us to process it, to seek comfort where we can find it, and to recognize that love, in its many forms, truly endures. It's about finding ways to carry their memory forward, whether through stories, traditions, or simply by living a life that would make them proud. We learn that while the pain of loss is real, so is the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the human spirit. Moving forward, let's talk about the significant reality of financial concerns and living on a fixed income, which often becomes more pronounced as we sail past our 80th birthday. For many, the golden years were envisioned as a time of comfort and ease, free from the daily grind of work. However, the reality for a considerable number of seniors is that retirement income, often from pensions, Social Security, or limited savings, doesn't always stretch as far as anticipated. Inflation, rising healthcare costs, unexpected home repairs, and even just the increasing price of everyday necessities like groceries can make managing money a constant, underlying worry. It's a harsh reality because it can severely limit choices and experiences. We might have dreamed of traveling, pursuing new hobbies, or spoiling grandchildren, only to find that our budget simply won't allow for it. The fear of outliving one's savings or becoming a financial burden on family members can be a heavy weight on the mind. Causing stress and anxiety, it can lead to difficult decisions, like foregoing necessary medical treatments or cutting back on social activities that bring joy. This isn't a problem that disappears on its own. It requires a realistic look at our finances and often a shift in perspective. Understanding this reality empowers us to become even more diligent about our budgeting, to seek advice from trusted financial planners if possible, and to explore all available assistance programs. It also encourages us to find happiness in simpler, less expensive pleasures. A quiet afternoon with a good book, a walk in the park, enjoying a home-cooked meal with loved ones. It's about finding creative ways to live comfortably within our means, appreciating what we have, and focusing on experiences that don't necessarily cost a lot of money but enrich our lives immeasurably. Sometimes, it means having candid conversations with family about expectations and realities, ensuring everyone is on the same page. The peace of mind that comes from feeling secure, even with a limited income, is invaluable, and it's achieved through careful planning, smart choices, and a focus on gratitude for the abundance we do possess. Another profound reality that many face after 80, and one that can be deeply unsettling, is the experience of cognitive decline and memory issues. It's not necessarily about developing a severe condition like Alzheimer's, though that is a concern for some. More commonly, it's a gradual softening of memory, a slower processing speed, or a greater difficulty in recalling names, dates, or recent events. We might find ourselves forgetting why we walked into a room, struggling to follow complex conversations, or misplacing items more frequently than before. This can feel incredibly frustrating and even frightening. Our minds have been our companions throughout our lives, sharp and reliable, and the thought of losing that sharpness can be terrifying. It's a harsh reality because our cognitive abilities are so intrinsically linked to our sense of self, our independence, and our ability to interact with the world. We might fear becoming a burden, or losing the very essence of who we are. There's also the social stigma, where people might treat us differently if they perceive our memory as failing. This reality, however, is one that we can approach with proactive strategies, understanding that our brains, like the rest of our bodies, change with age, allows us to be kinder to ourselves and to take steps to support our cognitive health. This includes engaging in mentally stimulating activities like puzzles, learning new skills, reading, or playing strategic games. It also means prioritizing good sleep. A balanced diet rich in brain-boosting nutrients, regular physical activity, and maintaining social connections, all of which are vital for brain health. It's also important to be open with our doctors about any concerns, as sometimes memory issues can be linked to treatable conditions or medication side effects. While we may not be able to prevent all cognitive changes, we can certainly work to optimize our brain health and adapt. We learn to rely on notes, use calendars, and develop routines that help us remember things. We focus on the rich tapestry of our long-term memories and the wisdom we've accumulated. Rather than fixating solely on recent recall, it's about embracing tools and strategies that support us, celebrating our mental strengths, and reminding ourselves that our worth and identity are far more than just our immediate memory. Then there's the reality of social isolation, a quiet challenge that can creep in unnoticed for many over 80. While we cherish our independence and the peace of a quieter life, the circle of social interaction often naturally diminishes. Friends and family might live far away, or their own health challenges might limit their ability to visit. Our mobility might decrease, making it harder to get out and participate in group activities. The comforting hum of daily work colleagues or the familiar faces at school drop-offs fade into the past. This can lead to profound loneliness, a sense of being disconnected from the world, and a feeling that no one truly understands or cares. It's a harsh reality because humans are inherently social beings, and a lack of meaningful connection can have serious impacts on both our mental and physical health. It can lead to depression, anxiety, and even accelerate cognitive decline. The world might feel like it's speeding up, leaving us behind. But understanding this reality allows us to be intentional about nurturing and creating connections. It encourages us to actively seek out opportunities for social engagement, even if they feel small at first. This could mean joining a senior center, volunteering for a cause we care about, attending local community events, or participating in online groups that share our interests. Many libraries offer programs for seniors, and there are countless virtual opportunities to connect with people from around the globe. It's about being proactive, taking that first step, and being open to new friendships. It might involve reaching out to younger family members and sharing our wisdom and stories, bridging generational gaps. It's also about the quality of our connections, not just the quantity. A few deep, meaningful relationships can be more enriching than a large circle of casual acquaintances. We learn to be creative in how we connect, whether through phone calls, video chats, or inviting neighbors over for a cup of tea. Embracing this reality means understanding the importance of connection for our well-being and actively pursuing it, recognizing that even small interactions can bring immense joy and ward off feelings of isolation. Finally, we arrive at the profound and often unspoken reality for those over 80, the deepening reflections on mortality and the confrontation with the end of life. As the years truly stretch behind us, and more of our peers depart, the awareness of our own finite time on Earth becomes much more palpable. It's not a morbid fixation, but a natural turning inward, a time for reflection on a life lived, choices made, and the legacy we will leave behind. This can be a harsh reality because it forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about purpose, meaning, and the inevitable. There might be regrets about missed opportunities, worries about those we leave behind, or a quiet fear of the unknown. It can sometimes feel like a countdown, rather than a continuation of life. However, understanding this reality is perhaps the most transformative of all. It offers a profound opportunity for peace, acceptance, and a deeper appreciation for every single day. instead of being a source of dread. It can become a powerful catalyst for living more fully, more intentionally, in the time we have left. It's about finding meaning not just in grand achievements, but in the simple beauty of everyday moments: a sunrise, the laughter of a child, the comfort of a familiar tune. This reality encourages us to put our affairs in order, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. It's about having those important conversations with loved ones, sharing our wishes, and making peace with ourselves and others. Many find immense comfort in their faith or in philosophical contemplation during this period, seeking to understand their place in the grand scheme of things. It's also a time to embrace gratitude for the long journey we've had, for all the experiences, the loves, and the lessons learned. The surprise I mentioned at the beginning is this: while these realities can seem harsh, facing them directly actually empowers us. It liberates us from the anxiety of the unknown and allows us to live with greater authenticity, clarity, and inner peace. By understanding these 6 realities: physical limitations, loss, financial concerns, cognitive changes, social isolation, and mortality, we're not giving in to them. We're gaining the wisdom to navigate them with courage and dignity. Remember, small adjustments in our outlook and daily approach can make a monumental difference to our health and happiness. Your experiences and insights are so valuable. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these realities or any other challenges and triumphs you've encountered as you've gotten older. Please share them in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content dedicated to helping you live your best life at every age.